Alright, so I want to go ahead and do this video and talk about the wet bug. I'm just going to call them wet bugs from now on, or better yet, demon seeds of Quetzalcoatl to keep things down. With that being said, I wanted to go ahead and talk about an incident that has always struck in my head about the bean bags, I call them. There was a nice Jewish man when I used to live on the PCH who was telling me a story about a very handsome, blonde-haired and blue-eyed, which don't necessarily make a person handsome, young man, white guy, of course, who was dating a wet bug. With that being said, a wet bug relatives, out of jealousy, jumped this poor guy to the point where they almost killed him. They were jealous and envious, as they all are. I'm going to explain to you what you're dealing with when you're dealing with them in a couple of minutes, of his whiteness. Because as you should understand, I'm going to preface this by saying every race on earth were created by different alien races. And wet bug was created by a demon reptilian by the name of Quetzalcoatl. There are different whatchamacallits races that were created by dragons. They talked about them all the time in old tales in Europe, Africa, even Asia. But the Asian ones were very wise and they were benevolent. And they taught about the secrets of the universe, universe rather, and of magic. They come from, and let me show you where they come from. Demonic reptilians, reptilian dragons. All their gods, if you look them up, are actually evil in the astral. That's where they come from. They come from that. And they continue that tradition to this day with their Mexican cartel beheadings. With that being said, when you're dealing with the wet bug, you're dealing with pure, unadulterated genetic evil. On the surface, no matter what their superficial disposition may be, many of those demon seeds, I call them the demon seeds of Quetzalcoatl for a reason, have a disposition to want to be evil at their core. The truth about them actually goes a lot deeper. And I'll be explaining that in a future video. I'm also going to go ahead and preface this by saying that as part of this curse, the thing I wanted to mention is that black people actually, in fact, do come directly from God. That's why we're so envied. And this isn't me just eulogizing my people. I love our hair. I love the way in which we look. I was white in the past life, but still carries through into this one. And I'll say this, even at an early age, I felt like there's nothing better than being black. Black is beautiful. We got the best hair. With that being said, Selena, who I found out during this curse, was attached to me. She don't like other wet bags. I'm going to say that right now. She don't like other wet bugs. She hated them because when she would try to reach out to him for soul rescue in the astral realm, she was actually stuck in the hell realm, like a lot of her type, her kind, for a long period of time, including one where she was trapped in the hellish version of New Orleans, which is where I come from, where you have, they had like biker gangs galore. She was also trapped in the hell realm, and I saw my mother there too, from the timeline in which I supposedly died in my sleep on August 22nd, 2022. Soul swapping is a reality. It's real. I'm not going to say too much, but I've seen evidence and proof that that's true, man. That makes me cry to this day. With that being said, she don't like him because she would try to reach out to him and they would just say, oh, it's Selena, and then throw her back in the hell realm in which she came. She was one of the hell realms I want to mention is called the Demon Realm card game, which was actually, in a very negative way, my least auspicious, where they would wager bets involving rolling people's heads, cutting people's heads off, removing people's limbs and selling them and wagering them. She was involved in that because of whatever curse got placed upon her. And she didn't like them motherfuckers. And there was actually another spiritualist on YouTube a long time ago. I actually rescued her from that realm. I took her right out. There was another spiritualist, a black one, I believe African. She may be Igbo. Like I learned during this curse. I learned so much about myself during this curse and so many things. It's not even funny. It was more educational than the curse. I actually come from the Igbo tribe of Africa. With that being said, she was trying to reach out to her own kind, and they wouldn't help her. And it actually took blacks to woke her ass out of those hell realms and those negative timelines. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say this and preface this by saying, when you're dealing with the wet buck, you're dealing with pure, unadulterated genetic evil. When you look at a lot of their customs, what they worship, like for instance, Santa Muerte, which is demonic, it's negative, because it's about, not necessarily just about that, but praying to protect you for injustices. She's actually Lord of Guadalupe. A lot of people don't know that. And another one who protects pedophiles and all that craziness, Jesus Malverde, which is like a low-rent version of Baron Samedi. Very low-rent version. I mean, the motherfucker's made up. As a matter of fact, I found out in the astral realm as well that they actually created a physical personification using the actor Emilio Estevez here. With that being said, and not only that, I think his name is Benares or some shit like that, but Juan Benitez, his real name. I've been trying to figure it out in the astral plane. You can see a picture of him right here. It's a low-rent version of Baron Samedi. With that being said, in the spirit world, those are some evil motherfuckers. I'm going to say this right now. I noticed on the P stage all the way out here to South Central that when I would do something, somehow word on a telepathic scale, even if I didn't publish it, would get out to them. Not only that, the wet buck vibrates at a frequency of 4,200, which is demonic. That's the same frequency in which demons vibrate at. That's where the wet buck vibrates at. The demons see the Quetzalcoatl. Not just that, 6,000 hertz frequency only works on them. And that's a frequency that you use on very demonic, evil motherfucking entities. Which Selena fucked up my child consciousness last night for no motherfucking reason. Just to, I don't get it. They evil motherfuckers. Don't let them into your energy, your core especially. And your sacred chakra and your root chakra, protect that. Those motherfuckers are major big time pedophiles and rapists. They get it from that reptilian gene that they come from, that they derive. So it makes them have a greater affinity for those type of things. That's why I don't fuck with them. I don't interact with them. My interactions are very cold. I make sure to protect my energy around them very prodigiously. I'll notice that in a very sneaky manner, they'll walk up to you if they have very strong spiritual powers and abilities, like one recently did to me. And what I did was, I'm going to say this right now, when you spit in the motherfucker path towards them, you're actually cursing them. I saw in the astral realm that my curses were transferring unto them when I would spit. Anyways, if you're spiritually powerful, because they love to feed on black energy, and they want to be white, they will get close to you. And they'll have on that fake smile I saw in the astral realm one day, sitting outside, watching the cars pass by. And I saw in the spirit world, as a lady was passing by, I felt the presence of her higher self. As she was passing by, I did something where I protected my energy by enacting a bunch of frequencies, one of which, to destroy the wet butt, is 113, 115 hertz and 6,000 hertz frequency. 6,000 hertz frequency is my favorite go-to. And with that being said, them motherfuckers, they used to scatter all the time when I lived on the PCH. They wouldn't want to come anywhere near me. Them energy motherfucking vampires. And they would feel it too when I woke them. I noticed she came right next to me, spat in her, not on her, but a few feet from where she was standing. And she could feel my energy. It's an energy that's totally closed off to them as a group. I don't want anything to do with them. I don't want them things near me. I don't even see them as people because they're not of God. They're of a dragon, demon reptilian, a human sacrifice, a human eating reptilian by the name of Quetzalcoatl. Look at Peru, look at all those countries in South America. And they have nothing but demonic reptilian entities that created them, that sired them as a species, which is what I consider them to be. A group. People. Quote. Anyways, with that being said, those motherfuckers are very, very demonic. During this curse, talked a lot about Baron Samedi. I don't know what's going on with him, but he need to get some things squared away. I don't like putting my people on Front Street like that. Yes, he's a real person. He once existed. Just like all the Orishas. They ain't nothing like the wet buck ass, gods, except the ones that created them. The Quetzalcoatls, and all that other crazy shit. All that demonic shit. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. I'm going to say this right now. They have a strong, very low vibration, or at the very least, demonic energy about them, which I never liked. And they have a one unit way of thinking. Like they all communicate via telepathy. I'm going to say something right now. I noticed that about the Bina. When I was in jail, I'll never forget.
Nobody got to die. Yeah, I'm not getting hurt.
Because I'll say this about them. When black folks call them out on their shit, they respect you. When I was in jail, I was talking. They had a wetback that was sexually harassing me. So I told the wetback, the beaner, that I don't fuck with his kind. I don't like his kind. I don't care for them because I see them creatures for what they are. Evil, pure evil. Demon seeds of Quetzalcoatl. With that being said, a lot of them are rapists and pedophiles. It's in their genetic code. It's spiritual DNA, physical DNA. Nasty motherfuckers. Very nasty motherfuckers. Oh, shit. With that being said, the thing I learned with them demon seeds, during this entire, stand when the motherfuckers looking at you. I'm gonna say something right now. There's truth to that evil eye shit. When they're staring at you, they're trying to pull your energy. Them demon seeds. The energy vampires, 451 hertz frequency works on them. Very well on them. Also, to retrieve the shit from them, 452 hertz frequency. Another one is 6002 hertz frequency to get your shit back from them. It only works on them, no other group. With that being said, when I was in jail, when I speak, you think that I'm a white woman, sight unseen. They had a black lady who chimed in and jumped in and said, don't be talking like that about those people, quote unquote. The minute she said that about me, them wetbacks started saying, shut the fuck up, nigger. They called her a nigger. And all sorts of other contumelies. When the lady was defending them. I mean that. As soon as I jumped on the bus and they heard my voice, I have a very distinct voice. You can't pass it up. A radio voice. They say, I fuck you, and I look at them right back and I fucking return fire. I don't play around with them motherfuckers. I know what they are in the spirit world. That's all I need to know about them. They're not of God. They're of a demonic reptilian by the name of Quetzalcoatl. They vibrate at a frequency of 4200. They're big, which is the same frequency that demons vibrate at. They're major, big-time energy vampires. They like to get close to your energy. And I'm going to say something right now. I learned during this curse, they stole a lot from me when they would call themselves helping. A lot of astral body parts, all of that shit. All that shit. And it's hard to get them evil motherfuckers out your energy field when they come in. Like Selena, I have been trying to cast their ass out, but I've been having a very, very hard time. I'm just going to say it right now, they ruthless, evil fucking people, if you can call them people. With that being said, during this curse, I learned, again, I know I talk a lot about Baron Samedi, but it was their motherfucking asses back in my old neighborhood, Miracle Mile, who put this shit on me. Baron Samedi, I'm not going to lie, is a piece of shit. And I'm trying to figure out the truth of what's going on, but there was a wet buck at a shop. Let me show you the name of the shop. It's Templo San Simon, or San Simon. Like my best friend from España, in other words, Spain, say they're nothing but Indians who talk Spanish. There's a place called Templo San Simon that's located on Pico Boulevard, close to downtown. I don't fuck with them creatures spiritually because they're gonna woke the shit out of your ass. And they're gonna steal all your energy. That's what the wetback does. As I call them, the bean seed of Quetzalcoatl. The demon seed of Quetzalcoatl. The wet butt. How you doing, brother? I'm doing all right, brother. God bless you, man. You too, brother. They're nothing like us. You know, when they pull out that whole, how you doing, black and brown unity shit, we are not the same. They're very, very different. They're different from any group of humans on this earth. I'll say this right now, white people do what they do out of fear of white genetic annihilation. There's an understandable human basis behind why every race on earth does what they do. Them motherfuckers is just that demonic reptilian, Quetzalcoatl, is inculcated in their genetic code to be evil. You see that demonic shit that they do with them cartel videos. The way they carry themselves, very passive aggressive. You know, I had one of them a while back tell me that in a lot of their families, love is feigned. It's not shown like it is in white and even in black and even white families. It's feigned, in other words, fake. It's like an act. Like, by order, they have to have kids, have to get married. It's a hoopla bullshit with them. It's a charade. It's like dealing with automatons when you're dealing with them. That's why they make great hard workers, but not smart. They make great hard workers because they were genetically inculcated to not think, but just to work for their reptilian dragon overlords. With that being said, I'm going to say this right now. They were the ones to put this curse on me. It was a couple. I'm going to show you the pictures of them. Say this right now. As soon as I found this out and became whatchamacallit to their true nature, say this as well. All throughout this curse, these motherfuckers have been trying to sacrifice my ass. That's why they've been trying to distance me as much as possible from my original child consciousness. With Bear Insanity at times, I hate to say it, helping. You know, I hate to say it, but you gotta put motherfuckers out there on Front Street. I don't like doing it to my people, but it's true. Hold on. With that being said, them motherfuckers are very demonic and they're sneaky. Just their reptilian code. I remember a long time ago when I was driving down in 2011 in my blue Pontiac, back when I had a home, an apartment really. They had a wet butt who shouted me down and said to me, "You got great spiritual powers." Come to find out, this was down Wilshire Boulevard near Koreatown. Come to find out, she was one of the people that put a curse. Don't open your energy to those motherfucking things. Don't be friendly. That's why when it comes down to my energy, I keep that shit right to my motherfucking self so they can't feed. I know this right here on Figueroa, they like to feed off of a lot of black energy through them sex workers. I hated that it's part of his curse, sacrifice curse, which wasn't near as bad as these motherfuckers with the you got a wetback, half wetback that imposed that shit on me, and a cracker bitch from Germany who got poppycocked by the wetback, who also put this on. And then there's another wet buck, she half white, half wet buck, who also directly hooked herself up to feed off of my consciousness. You know, I heard the same thing from a sister from Africa, direct from Nigeria, Yoruba, as a matter of fact, say the same thing. They like to get physically close to you so that they could feed and prey off your energy. That's why I'm thinking about getting a Trump hat in the future. Thinking about getting another MAGA hat. Because I'm going to say this right now, in the spirit world, that MAGA hat really protects your crown chakra from them things. Get a MAGA hat, and not ICE and Border Patrol. When I saw the energy associated with them, it's a lot of them, self-hating, so-called self-hating ones, really ones who see the truth about them like us, but I don't befriend any of them because it's all the same thing with them, all the same. The group consciousness, every race got a group consciousness, is terrible. You can fuck somebody up by fucking up their group consciousness. I talked about that a long time ago on my website. With that being said, unlike any other group of people, I noticed that certain stereotypes about them is very, very consistent. Aside from the pedophilia, the rape theme, and the hypersexual theme, I'm going to say this right now, from what I learned in the spirit world, they have a tendency to see black women as walking mattresses. That's why I dissed that by calling them a wetback, or a demon seed of Quetzalcoatl right to their face. I was actually about to beat up one the other fucking day, because that motherfucker was like, he was eyeing me, and I noticed that he was filming me as he was passing by, and I called him a wetback, I called him a beaner. And I said, what you gonna fucking do? What the fuck? I see you fucking recording. Wanted to snatch that shit right out of his motherfucking hands, but he was on the bike, and he was too swift for me. With that being said, a lot of them border hoppers, I'm going to say this right now, a lot of Americans don't have an unspoken hatred of them, no matter how they may carry themselves and act towards us individually for a reason. Underneath the surface, the group consciousness, again, they are not of God. They are of a demon by the name of Quetzalcoatl. They are not human like the rest of us in a way. They have that serpentine energy, is strong with them, not even serpentine. Demonic human sacrifice dragon. I'll show you the picture. Very low vibration. I noticed that when blacks mix their energy with them, they get even more hyper-violent. And they treat them motherfuckers like stereotypes. One good example is this dummy.